What celebrity controversy that got swept under the rug or got barely talked about still lives in your mind? Chris Brown still having a career after beating the shit out of Rihanna. It sounds crazy, but Google Lindsay Lohan attempting to kidnap refugee children off the street, because it's real and it's even crazier than it sounds. Steven Tyler of Aerosmith took guardianship of a 16-year-old groupie so he could have her handy. Jack Nicholson once beat a sex worker so badly she had brain damage. If ever there was a cancel-worthy situation. Joe Jonas asked out Gigi Hadid when he was 20 and she was 13 or 14. HTTPS. Why isn't that more of a story? Dr. Seuss cheated on his first wife while she was dying of cancer and she committed suicide when she found out. Natalie Wood's death. Matthew Broderick killed 2 people while driving on the wrong side of the road in a head-on collision in Northern Ireland and only paid a small fine. He still hasn't apologized to the family of the victims. Michael Fassbender beating the fuck out of his wife, dragging her from a moving car, and rupturing her ovarian cyst, causing her to bleed internally. Wild to me that Aziz Ansari got cancelled for whining about a blowjob while Fassbender got off scot-free for so much worse. Jared Leto is still actively running that cult. It wasn't quite swept under the rug, but the amount of hero worship Kobe Bryant gets after almost certainly raping someone is a little crazy. I can see the story being forgotten, but to swing so far the other way to full-on worship is wild to me. R. Kelly marrying Aaliyah when she was 15 and he was 27. A decade later his actions with underage girls started to pick up traction, but how were his actions in 1994 not a huge issue? Jerry Seinfeld dating someone for 4 years who was a teenager when they met he was 38 years old. Everyone forgot that Mike Tyson went to jail for raping a teenager and regularly beat the shit out of his wife. More than one of Brad Pitt's kids has alleged he beat them. People do not give a fuck. They would rather believe Jolie and the kids are all just making it up, and the kids want nothing to do with him because their mom is keeping them from him. Pete Townsend got caught with a terabyte of CP. He said he was doing research to out predators. When were you gonna turn in your research, Pete? Remember when Sinead O'Connor tore up the Pope's photo live on SNL to protest child molestation in the Catholic Church? The next week Joe Pesci was hosting SNL and said he'd like to slap her upside the head and the crowd cheered. Poor woman's been through a lot. I don't know if it counts as a controversy, but the fact that Tom Cruise is in Scientology, he might be a great actor stuntman. Whatever, each time I see him, I think of that and I cannot immerse myself in a movie if I see him. It creeps me out. The only recent movie with him that I liked was Tropic Thunder, because I didn't know or recognize him, but sadly now I do. Jon Hamm is a total puss who tormented a kid as part of a fraternity hazing ritual and never showed much remorse at all about it. HTTPS. The young man was hit so hard during the Warp 1990 initiation that he suffered a fractured spine and nearly lost a kidney. Hamm then set his pants on fire and didn't let him pat the flames down. Finally, Hamm hooked the claw of a hammer underneath his testicles and pulled him around the room for at least a minute. Mark Wahlberg is a racist piece of shit.